got a pool heater not working properly, service call. Looks like they got a heat pump here. Hayward HeatPro. Yep, there it is.
So you can't get this to go on.
Okay.
That's the story. And I saw you guys' video on YouTube where you had a similar situation. So I thought I'd give you a call.
So what does it do? Nothing happens?
Nothing happens, but last year was fine.
Obviously someone turned the power off.
Yeah.
So you turn the power on, what happens? Anything?
Nothing. No humming,
No illumination of the display? No. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have this Hayward pool heater. It's a heat pump. So essentially what this box does next to this pool equipment is it heats the water from the ambient temperature in the air right now. Right now it is 61 degrees here. So if this heat pump was on and running, it's going to extract the heat from that 61 degrees of temperature and dump that into the pool. It's over there. It essentially works the opposite of air conditioning. Your air conditioning your home, your place of work, what have you, your car, it extracts the heat and humidity from that air, that ambient air of your indoor, of your car, your office, your home, and it discharges that outside. That's why when you walk by your central air conditioning unit outside your home and the system's running, you'll feel hot air coming out of the top. With this is the opposite. So at the top of the unit, you'll have ice cold air coming out of the top of the unit. Now the customer's complaint is that nothing happens. So I just did a quick visual inspection. I looked down the fins with a flashlight. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary, just except tons of pine leaves. We have trees. I don't see any. I see tons of pine leaves, like these little bad boys, right? But I don't see any pine trees. But oh yeah, look over there. See? Then I noticed that the disconnect or the circuit breaker, which is a 50 amp for this heat pump, is off. So before I turn that on, I'm going to take the front cover off and take a look, make sure there's no electrical shorts before I restore power. One screw here, one on the top left and right, and one on the bottom left and right. Now, I'm going to take a look inside. Obviously, no obvious recent maintenance. None whatsoever. Let's see if we see anything out of the ordinary other than dirt. And I don't see that. Let's open up. Huh, okay. There you go. Take a peek inside the electrical compartment. Looks like we have a neutral that's taped off, not going anywhere. We have our contactor. This is a 24 volt contactor, 24 volt coil. So 24 volts will turn it on and it'll energize L1, L2 to T1, T2. This is a single capacitor rated for 80 microfarads. Looks a little swollen on top. We have a pressure switch, water pressure switch, transformer. The water pressure switch, by the way, that'll sense the flow of water and allow the system to stay on. Transformer, this is a step-down transformer, probably 240, 210 to 24 volts. And here is our control board. Let's check for any shorts to ground, get my multimeter out, and then we'll restore power. Before I do that, I'm just going to do a quick test to make sure that the power is off. So one to ground. And we have nothing there, nothing there. Now let's do both terminals together. And we have nothing. Now let's check for shorts to ground. I have one alligator clip on ground. Let's test continuity first. There you go, boom. Let's go here. Nope, so we have no shorts to ground visible. We're good. Let's just real quick, let's check. No, I was going to check the capacitors, but let's just turn power on and see what happens. Nothing on the display. So I just turned back on power. There's nothing on the display. Look at this. We have a 3 horsepower pump. And this is really warm. Okay, so now that we restored power, let's check, make sure we have power where it needs to be. Okay. 123, 123, and nothing together. Look at that. We have no power together there. So that's a problem. Let's turn this back off, and I'm gonna take a peek inside here. All right, I switched my leads from my voltmeter to the ones with a little pin probe on them. All right, so here's that breaker. Let's turn that on and let's test for voltage at the breaker. And we have 0 together, and 1 by 1, 122, and it looks like that. Well, that's weird. Let's see if I can touch that right there. Yeah, there you go. So, but this and that together give us nothing. So we may have a bad breaker, but let's go a step further. Let's go here to there, 120, here to there, 120, there to there, and we have 245. Look at that. Looks like we have a bad breaker or a bad bus bar. That would be kind of odd, huh? Crazy. Hi, Mike from Pipe Doctor. Do you have access to your electrical panel inside your home?
Yeah, let me go get the garage.
Okay. Is it in the garage? Can I meet you there?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Let's go see the electric panel in the garage, because I want to turn off power to the breaker to here before I start tinkering around with that, because I'm not an electrician, but I'm going to do my best to get them up and running today. All right, let's make sure power is off. Good. Now, that's that neutral. There's that breaker. You know what? I would love to move this elsewhere, if at all possible, like up there. And then let's put this one there. All right, let's see what happens. All right, just turn that back on. Nothing. Let's make sure power is back where it needs to be. All right, and let's see what we have here. Yeah, it looks like we got a bad breaker. That sucks. All right, for testing purposes, I just removed the 2 wires from both L1, L2 of that 240 volt, 50 amp breaker, wired it directly to my lugs feeding this panel. Again, quick testing purposes only. I do get a flow message on the display, so I know that my line voltage in is good, my 24 volts is good, and so far electrical circuitry is good. So now the only thing I can do is refer them to an electrician. And we good. All right, I taped up separately the 2 leads feeding the heat pump pool heater, disconnected from the breaker because there's a problem there. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. I would hate for someone to turn that on, something goes wrong, and blah 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 blah, and you know what I mean. This needs to go this way. Okay, beautiful. Let's put those screws back in and turn the power back on and get the pump running. And by the way, if you use the wrong screw, like if I use this long screw down there, this happened to me before, I'm going to put a hole in the coil. This happened to me before, folks. I kid you not. It has happened to me before. So be careful. Don't do what I did. And spent hours repairing a leak that from a screw I put in to the unit. And why aren't these magnetic? Maybe you go. This thing has seen better days, I swear.